What's up everybody, it's Robin Gaming here. So I'm going to start off this review of the Destiny 2 beta that's going on right now, of course on PS4 for early access, people that pre-ordered the game. I'm gonna start it off, you know, just talking about the original Destiny for a tiny bit, right? Like, the original Destiny was a flawed game to me. It was a game that, you know, that some people were disappointed by because they thought it was gonna offer them something more than it ultimately did. They maybe expected, you know, a good story. They didn't expect for it to be this MMO, RPG, first-person shooter type game that's all about the looting and doing the repetitive missions and stuff. And what you saw is that, you know, half of the people that bought into Destiny kind of dropped the game almost immediately because they were disappointed with the lack of variety and the low amount of missions ultimately and stuff, right? And then you have half of the amount of people that actually really enjoyed it, me actually somewhat included, that just liked playing it with friends, that had a ton of fun playing everything in co-op and, yeah, trying to get the best loot, ultimately leveling your character up. Then the expansions came along and introduced some new elements to it and stuff. And overall, I personally had a good time with the original Destiny, and I get that some people bashed it for what it was and that they just expected it to be better than what it was, but you know, ultimately I look at it and I thought it was a great game, you know, still, and I was just looking forward to seeing what the sequel would do, because I was sure that Bungie was really gonna, like, improve on their mistakes that they made, right? Or that they would kind of correct them, that they would actually add the variety and the great story and everything like that. Well, I've played the Destiny beta right now. I was pretty much already done with it in, like, within 2 hours. I'd seen almost everything that the beta has to offer, because there's not a whole lot in it, and it's sadly become just very clear to me that Destiny 2 is almost literally Destiny 1 all over again. And that's why I just started with that quick context out there, because people really, like, you know, some people, if I'm sharing my thoughts on Twitter or on the live streams and stuff, some people think I'm being, like, overly negative about it or something like that. But no, once again, the original Destiny is a game I enjoyed, but still, I just expect a sequel to be better than what the original game was. A sequel should always kind of, like, you know, try to appeal to the same people, of course, that really like the original, but then also find this new audience by, you know, just improving a little bit or going the extra mile to now convince other people that they still need to stick around, mainly that have that drop Destiny so quickly, right? But no, Destiny 2 right now, from what I've played in the beta, it's the same graphics, it's the same gameplay, it's still the same type of objectives you have. Like, people were complaining in Destiny 1 when you had those missions in the beginning of the game that you kind of, like, let your ghost scan a certain area and then you're just protecting him, you know, fighting wave after wave of enemies. And this game, you know, although it doesn't make it clear in the way that you're having your ghost scan stuff, it still does the exact same thing. Like, there is nothing different about Destiny 2 than what was in Destiny 1 already. Hell, even the enemies are the same, the classes are the same. You're still picking the Hunter and the Warlock and the Titan, and we knew that already. But it's also then, you know, like, making me ask the question, why exactly did Activision decide, and Bungie as well, decide to get pretty much rid of everyone's progress in the original Destiny, right? The way they explained it at first, before the game was announced, was that there were some really good reasons for your stuff not to be able to carry over. So I thought, you know, oh yeah, they've got a new engine maybe and stuff, and they're doing just a lot of new stuff with this sequel. That means that, you know, all the stuff that was in the old game doesn't work anymore. But no, that's not the case. The only reason they stripped you of all that content was simply for the fact that they didn't want people that didn't play the original game to feel left out now, to feel like they're starting with a disadvantage in Destiny 2 compared to all these people that did play the original. And that really sucks to see, and then they're trying to make up for it by showing you, or by having you play the story mission in the beginning that you know, where they destroy the tower, where you lose everything and stuff, and therefore yeah, you have to pretty much start all over again in Destiny 2. It sucks. It's just an excuse of a reason. Like I said, you're even fighting the same enemies for the most part. There's a couple of them that they added. The only real difference that I could tell in Destiny 2 compared to 1 was maybe that there was a bit more spectacle going on in the background. You know, you had, when the tower ultimately was destroyed, you saw in the background that there were these ships attacking the Traveler, and the scale of that looked kind of impressive, you know. It was just a cool thing they did graphically, where in the background you just see a lot more stuff going on right now. Like I said, the beta itself didn't really include too much stuff. You pretty much start off by playing 2 story missions that you can't play afterwards anymore unless you try a different account, of course. Then you have a strike to play, and there as well, I guess one thing that I did notice that I thought was a little, you know, fun is that there was a bit more interactivity in the level. So you had this massive kind of like construction machine or whatever that was just constantly spinning around, and you had to dodge while you were fighting enemies, and that's cool, but it's nothing like mind-blowing in the slightest, and this could have been already done in Destiny 1, you know. You also had 2 multiplayer modes. One was pretty much the same thing you've already played a lot, which is the control game mode, where you're just trying to take over certain capture points, and then they also added a competitive game mode, which is very similar to Counter-Strike, right, or Call of Duty Search and Destroy, where it's about, you know, 4 versus 4 battles, 1 attacking side, 1 defensive side. The attacking side tries to, like, you know, set charges and plant a certain bomb or whatever, while the defensive side, of course, is trying to take out the attacking side, and if you die, you have to wait until the next round unless you get revived. It's something that we've seen already done in many games out there, and like, this is the thing, I am sure that people that enjoyed Destiny 1 are going to enjoy Destiny 2, because it does the exact same thing, and therefore I'm not saying that the game is trash, or I'm not saying that the game is bad or something at all. It's a good game. The original Destiny to me was a good game, but ultimately, the way I really look at it is that a sequel, once again, has to be something better than the original, and it has to not just literally do the exact same thing once more. And what also sucks about it is now you already know you're going to be pretty much, the moment you spend $60 for this game at launch is the moment you're signing up to ultimately pay $200 down the road, because you know they're going to do these certain types of DLCs first, 2 I think in the first year again, then they're going to do 2 expansions yearly, where you're going to be spending $40 for each, you're going to be spending $15 for the DLC twice, maybe some more, you know, some more cash on the emotes and all the microtransactions that they have in the game, because what Bungie has done with the first game, and what they're no doubt going to do with Destiny 2 again, is that pretty much you don't buy the DLC, you're going to be left out, because everybody will be playing that, and you're just becoming kind of irrelevant to them at that point. You have to pretty much, you know, pay along to be able to actually keep playing the game normally with everyone else. They even kind of like lock you out of doing the certain daily missions and stuff like they used to do with the original. It just sucks to see, man. I really thought that Destiny 2 was going to be an improvement over the original. That's what I was hoping for. That's what the great sequels always do. But yeah, there was pretty much none of that in this beta, at least. And once again, I'm just judging by the beta, so we'll see how it's going to turn out in the original game. I don't want to bash it. It's going to be a good game. It's just going to be more of the same, and that sucks to me to see. I was always hoping for a sequel to do something better than that, and I'm genuinely disappointed by that, because, you know, I'm not sure if I'm even really excited now anymore at all for Destiny 2. Yeah, because there's so much other stuff coming out too this year. Anyway, that was pretty much my review for the Destiny 2 beta. So let me know what you thought about it in the comments, of course, if you've played it already, and otherwise you can play the open part of it in a few days from now, I think 1 or 2. So with that being said, yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Leave a quick like to help support my channel, and hope to see you again next time.